This is very interesting. It says it's redirecting to YouTube. I'm sure I'm going to have to turn this off. There we go. Folks, how are you? This is Kurt. Like the title says, exhausted on a Thursday. Thursdays, I set up my day to be, uh, a webinar, a podcast, a ask us anything call, right? Where we like a customer service kind of thing. And then we do office hours, like a mastermind kind of thing with software after that. And so on Thursdays, I typically have about 5 hours of interactive live time on screen. And I set it up that way on purpose. It's my own fault, right? But so I set it up that way so that the rest of my week would have flexibility to do things. And so I don't begrudge it. Like I don't want you to think that I begrudge it, but nevertheless, it has me exhausted on a Thursday. And then when I get done with being that personality, because when I'm live, believe it or not, I'm kind of a fun person. So when I'm doing the live thing, I try to be engaging and entertaining and all those things. And when it's done, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Now, here's an interesting thing. Did you know it's social media day? So social media day, I got to get on and make some kind of content, right? So here I am for that. That's one thing. But I was really driven by some other things. I had made some content over the last couple of days about this broken spoke and how a spoke works within a wheel and why spokes break and how that broken spoke can equate to things in business to fix. And it's been really interesting to me how this kind of anecdotal kind of training has really hit home with some folks, especially in the software space. So I covered it with Power Sports, but then also in the software space. Now, here's a couple of things that it brings to my attention. So on one hand, I'm saying, hey, don't just don't replace the symptom, fix the root cause. And then I do talk to people about the dangers of AI. And I do talk to people about how some of the code is sloppy that's coming out of AI. And then I do talk to people about how there's like a 23% chance that when you code with AI, it could inject some malware. I do bring those things up. And I don't come up with that information. It's that information's out there. There's reports and there's tests and there's papers and things like that. So as I'm studying that now, does that mean AI is bad? No, it doesn't mean AI is bad. That's like the weirdest thing. So the hypocrite in me is like I'm using AI to build things. So I'm literally I don't mind being on camera, obviously. So I get out almost every day. I get out outside and I film a lesson for a course that I'm creating. I've been doing this every day for a couple weeks. And so I get out, I go outside, I film a lesson. I come back in, I take that lesson and I put it into a tool called Descript. Descript allows me to edit the video by editing the transcript. What a cool thing. So I can go in and I can say, oh, I don't like that sentence, delete it, and it takes it out of the video. I don't like the end of this, I'm going to delete the end, takes it out of the video. And then I can put a thing called Studio Voice on top of the video. So then I do that, right? So when the video's done, I publish the video, and then instead of sounding like I sound now, I sound more like this. And I like I like the audio tone. Like it doesn't sound fake to me. It sounds good. And so I take it out of there and then so I download that video, and then I take that video and I load it up into Premiere Pro with Adobe Creative Cloud. And then that's where I add the bumper, right? So the opening credit screen, so the title and the credit screen, and then I have some flying thirds that come in at the bottom of the video to highlight things that I'm talking about within the lesson. That this is all being done, right? So in Descript, I said I had a transcript of the video, right? So then I copy the transcript and I put that into AI and I say, create for me an influential summary text portion of a lesson to go with the video that this transcript came from. So what I'm saying is I don't want to put the transcript in the lesson. I want you to summarize this transcript and have it be like, hi, welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we're going to cover blah, 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 blah. An AI creates that for me. I copy it and I paste it into the lesson. And while that's happening, it's the video in Premiere is rendering. So when that renders, I load that up to my video host. I take the code from the video hosting and I put that into the lesson and I click save. Folks, it seems like a lot of work. Seems like a lot of work, but I want to take you back 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I didn't have the transcript at my fingertips. I didn't have a tool that would summarize the transcript for me. I didn't have studio sound to edit out foreign noises and things like that. I had to manipulate that stuff manually through a post-edit process. And so something that used to take me, let's say it's a 15-minute training video, that used to take 6 or 7 hours to make. And now that 15-minute video is taking me about an hour and 15 minutes. Now, if I had a more potent computer and more memory and stuff, maybe it would go a little faster. Um, but what I've done is now I have created, an agent in my AI tool that basically, so I just say, here's the next transcript to summarize, and it does it. Here's the next transcript to summarize, and it does it. Now, here's an interesting thing. I have a tool now that will create an ebook for me. So I'm going to take all of the transcripts from all of the lessons. There's 47 lessons in this course. So I'm going to take all of the transcripts from all of the lessons. I'm going to combine them, right? So lesson one, lesson two, lesson three, lesson four, lesson five, it's all going to be combined in one document. I'm going to take that document, I'm going to load it up to AI, and I'm going to say, remove all the ums and the ahs, remove all of the filler talk, and um, audit or edit this document to use my voice, right? My voice, my ideas, my things, all of that. Just clean up the grammar and break this into sections like chapters for an ebook. Are you tracking me? And then I'll take some screenshots off of my website. I'll take some of the promotional post graphics that I've made to sell the course, and I will pepper those into the pages. And then I will release this thing as a book, and the book will help sell the course, and the course will help bring people into our apprentice program and maybe even possibly either working for Mañana No Mas or realizing that we are the experts and using Mañana No Mas. So this has been a real interesting journey for me because on one hand, I spend part of my day saying, oh my God, please don't use AI. It's a nightmare. If you're not familiar with what the output's going to be, you're going to get in too deep. You're going to get frustrated. You're worse. You're going to give other people bad content. Like AI, if you're not careful with it, if you don't know how to use it, you're going to screw up, and it's going to have repercussions. But if you are aware of what the expectation is, if you know what the output's supposed to be, and you have a process that you know you can shortcut with AI and you can tell it what to do and then get the right output, man, what a valuable tool. What a valuable tool. So I feel a little bit like a hypocrite, but I'm going to hold the line on this. I really feel like there's all these people that want the easy button. There's not an easy button. For instance, where does the content come from in the videos? It's me. It's me. It's my 30 years of experience in business that's going into these training videos and making this content. So where does the content come from? The content comes from me. Uh, Here's what I did. I knew that I wanted to use AI in this way. And then so as I was coming up with what the curriculum would be, I made an outline, I uploaded it to AI, and I said, I'm going to write a course on this topic. Here's the outline I have so far. Are there any details here that you think I've missed? And it gave me like three or four things that I forgot to include. So it would have been a 42 or 43 lesson course instead of 47 lessons. So is AI valuable? Absolutely, AI is valuable, but you have to know what the output is going to be. And so now, all this said, I literally have to now ask myself, you see, Mañana No Mas has two different verticals that it does business with primarily. Do we help other people? Yes, we help other people. But Manana No Mas, as an agency, has two main verticals that it works with. It works with startups. Like we have commoditized packages that we can sell to startups. And so we can keep them on a budget. That's the most important thing. Startups need most startups, not all startups, but most startups, they know they need a presence on the internet, but they don't need something complicated. They need something simple. They also, in my perspective, need ownership of their content. They need ownership of their content, ownership of their user data, ownership of their all that stuff. WordPress does that. WordPress is one of the only platforms that really does that. And so we have created these commoditized products that we can give to these startups to say, hey, you need a quick website up, hosted, maintained, kept up for you. All you got to do is, put in your header, your picture, your paragraph, and it's ready to go. But it's pre-formatted, it's ready to go. We have that product. Boom, good to go. The other thing is we make e-learning products for larger enterprise type companies. And so it could be for HR, it could be for production, it could be technician training. We've done stuff in medical, we've done stuff for makeup, right? For arts and things like that. And so we make these training websites. And I'm going to be honest, I think there's like this weird kind of this weird thing where everyone maybe they make assumptions because, I'm on the WP Minute, I'm on the WP Tonic, I'm on the Membership Machine Show, I'm on Manana No Mas, I'm on Lifter LMS. I make a lot of content. And so I think maybe some people think, well, he's a personality, he's an influencer, he's not really running an agency. I am completely running an agency. And we are available for work. Surprise, surprise. So there's also this gut feeling where people have said, "Oh my gosh, I was just afraid you were going to be too expensive." Like because I'm the face of Lifter LMS and I'm the face at WP Tonic and I'm the face at Manana No Mas, and I do the thing with the WP Minute. People make this brash leap that I'm just going to be financially out of touch, financially out of scope for them and their needs. I can't stress enough, the market is the market. The market will only bear so much. I can only charge so much for the services we provide. So I'm not going to say that we are out of range for you. Here's what I really think you should consider. If you were to consider hiring Manana No Mas to make you an e-learning website, if you knew how quickly we can put together the tools and build the framework for an e-learning website, if you have your content ready, oh my goodness, the way that we can take care of you so quickly and so efficiently at Manana No Mas, it's almost scary. And so you would approach someone where maybe that's not their primary skill set. And so you're going to say, oh, well, what's your agency rate? Let's be clear. I don't really quote like an agency rate. I try to stay somewhere around $150 an hour or so, but I'm really more like quoting for the job, right? So this is the job. This is the value we're going to bring to you. We're going to do this, this, and this for about $8,000. And they go, oh my God, $8,000 is a lot of money. And then they hire someone that doesn't have the skill set. And 4 months, 5 months, 6 months later, I'm getting emails. Hey, could you give us some advice on this? Could we bring you on as a consultant? Could you give us the easy button to try and could I just ask you a quick question? Like, I get that a lot. Could I just ask you a quick question? And I'm like, didn't we talk 6 or 8 months ago? And oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We ended up hiring somebody else. They were a little more affordable. If it's 8 months later and your website's not up, collecting revenue, creating money for you, selling courses and memberships, um, it was already too expensive. It was already too expensive. And that's where I go with a lot of folks. I know that that's hard. I know that that sounds brash. It sounds harsh. And maybe I got to watch the way I say things when I've had a long day on Zoom, because maybe I say things too gruffly. But part of the value that Manana No Mas is bringing to your project is knowledge and confidence. We go, oh, you want to do that? Great, we can do that. We can execute on that in 3 weeks. We can execute on that in 30 days. We can execute on that in 42 days. Whereas maybe a lesser confident provider is going to be like, well, let's do a full needs assessment. Let's talk to your stakeholders and let's see what you really want to put together. And 4 months later, they're still trying to figure out, how does the plugin configure, memberships with courses, and how do the access plans and memberships work alongside the access plans in the courses, and how do you integrate that with WooCommerce? And it's a learning project for them as they go. And so it's taking them 10 times as long to get the job done. The other thing that Manana No Mas brings to the table, and this came up today in our office hour mastermind call with Lifter LMS, is I've got a tech stack that I know works. I've got a tech stack that I know delivers what my clients need in an e-learning website. Like, I'm not messing around with, oh, I wanted to do this, I want to do that. I need a pop-up that goes over here, and I need this kind of thing that goes over there, and I want to make sure that when someone clicks on this button, confetti pops out of it on the screen. No, no, we typically don't do that stuff for clients. Here's what we do. We say, hey, here's the tech stack that we use. We're going to build you something solid and reliable and get you launched. Getting you launched is the number one priority. Getting you to where you can create revenue with your idea is our number one priority. And then let's say, based on customer input, this is important, based on feedback from your users, because every use case is different. Maybe someone says, oh, this would be really great if it had confetti when I push this button. And then 20 other people conveniently say it would be great if there was confetti when they push that button. At that point, we would probably have a conversation and say, okay, we've already completed the core project. We can add the confetti button to phase two, right? And then for phase two, what do you want to do? You want to add community. You want to add a customer resource management tool. You want to start building some kind of funnels or lead magnets or something like that. Yeah, we can absolutely do that for you. But again, we're going to come at it from the position of strength, confidence, knowledge, and making things happen on a timeline and under a budget. So it's really weird. I'm in a weird space now because people see the content. I think when they see me talk online, I think they see somebody that's confident and is driven and understands the product that he delivers. But I think there's also this weird feeling like, oh, it's going to cost too much. It's going to be outside our scope. It's going to be beyond our budget. Here's what you do. You go to Manana No Mas and you click book a call and you get in touch with me and you let me know what it is you're trying to build. I think you might be pleasantly surprised because we can build stuff in a timely way that is reliable, hosted, maintained, and get you going to where you're in a revenue position pretty dang quickly. Whereas if you go another direction, chances are you're paying somebody else to educate them along the way. There's not a lot of people that are super active in the e-learning space. There just isn't. I have a big background in corporate training. I have a huge background in curriculum development, SCORM development, all of these things. And so when I left corporate America with this, bevy of knowledge from how they work like real professional corporate learning departments, when I saw the baggage and the expense that these huge corporations pay in this market, in this little niche, I thought, well, this is it. This is it for Manana No Mas. We can help these big companies come off of these giant budgets and create better websites with better functionality, more flexibility, and cut that budget for them by 60, 70, 80% sometimes. So that's like our real strength. So when you understand that that's what I'm doing for corporate clients, if you're like building a business and you know that you're going to need this kind of training, then you should already recognize, based on what I've just said, we're going to be able to give you an incredible value for your investment. So I'm just throwing it out there. You know, A lot of times you'll hear me giving a message where I'm paying it forward, right? I'm talking about leadership, I'm talking about communication, I'm talking about building a team. I give people free courses, free lessons all the time on how to use different online tools, how different AI tools work. I do a lot of that value added stuff. This message today, social media day, I really just wanted to hit you square between the eyes with these are the skills we bring to the table. We execute on time and on budget, and we're open for work. So go to Manana No Mas, click the book a call button, set something up. Let's get together, let's see what your needs are. Let's see what your budget is, and let's see if we can't put something together for you. Another news flash. If we're not the right fit, and it goes both ways. If you're not the right fit for us, we're not the right fit for you, whatever. Chances are there's somebody in my circles that is a good fit. So we'll have the conversation. We'll either bond and make magic happen, or I can give you a referral to someone else in my network and we can get you taken care of. The main thing is taking that first step. The first step is book the call, get in touch. Let's have a quick conversation. All right. Folks, that's it. I'm going to bail. I am going to enjoy the rest of my Thursday and get ready to get some rest and hit